Hey, I got another curb find and it's adorable. I mean, look at this. At first glance, you're thinking to yourself, who would throw that out? Looks like it just needs a little bit of cleaning and it will be perfect and right. That is, until you touch it. Hey, Margie from the Asking Spot. Now, normally when I do these videos, I start with everything in the before, then we just kind of chronologically go through what I did to get it to the after. But this time, I'm showing you the after. This table. This is the table that nearly broke me. Because you see, when I started the Asking Spot, it was asking, can I get more life out of something? Can I restore it? Can I refinish it? Or can I reuse it in some way? Well, this one, I just couldn't get the mystery goo with glitter that was all over it. I couldn't get it off of it, no matter what I tried. And I got so frustrated and I thought I had completely failed that I went ahead and deleted the video of me trying to use WD-40, trying to use vinegar. I went ahead and tried acetone. I tried baking soda. I tried all these different ways, just standard scrubbing, soap and bubbles kind of thing. None of it worked until I tried what I really didn't want to try, but it did work. So this now becomes an ideal candidate to try some paint techniques, and maybe even another technique. It's doing decoupage, but not in the usual way. By this point, I am so relieved. I spent a good part of a week trying to get all that sticky glitter goo off the top of this. So I am putting a chalk paint with a little bit of water and using that as my primer coat. All right. If I had any intention of leaving this in the white, I think I would be in tears right now, because what you're seeing, maybe not so well through the camera, is there is a bleed through, even with all the sanding, the stripping, everything. So it's just an illustration of why it is important to use a stain blocking primer if white is what you hope to go with your color. It can affect a lot of the light colors. But actually, I just used the white as a prime, and I am going to take this much darker. Now, normally, I would paint from the top down on any project, but because I've got something planned for the top, yes, I'm going to try and decoupage this piece. I'm just going to do the bottom first, and if I have more of this, then I'll go ahead and move on to the top, but I might save it for a wash. We'll see how it goes. But this is the paint I'm using. To add a little accent or detail to what was going on in the legs, I used some of my acrylic paint. But a heads up, if you're going to decoupage something, it does not work on an acrylic paint. Then after that was done, I used a polyurethane water base to put down a base coat before I did the decoupage on the top, but I also did it on the sides as well. This is the first of very many. Can I just say this next step is making me a little nervous? It's the idea that I'm going to put something sticky on something that I worked so hard to make not sticky. But I've done my practice runs. I've tried it on just a blank piece of wood and I'm going to go for it, which is something I highly recommend you do before you go and paint that piece that you're kind of okay with or doing anything to that piece. Try it on something that you just, like mine was a found crate at Costco. Something you're not too invested in. Then try it on the piece you want to turn out wonderfully. Wish me luck. In a sale bin at Joann Fabrics, I found this book of beautiful origami papers. And I went ahead and started cutting out some pieces. I did have to use my color copier though, because I didn't have enough. The design process took a while. I tried laying them out in different areas in different ways, and you'll notice though, I needed those scrap pieces. You'll see more on that later. So here's what I'm using to do this. Now, I've got one of these guys out with water so I can just lay everything in it. And the thing is when you're working with a thicker piece for your decoupage, you do want to use this. I tried not doing it on my sample thing and that left it bubbly and not very even. This helps make it pliable. Then I'm using some decoupage, but this decoupage was almost empty. I poured this decoupage, same thing, into it and then added a lot of water because you want to do a really thin coat first. Then you put it on and then you let it dry and then you can go back and do the really thick version of your decoupage. I'm going to dip it into the water. I'm going to let it blot off on just a towel. I'm using a shop towel. It has to be lint free because otherwise you're just asking to put stuff on your table that you don't want. So that's going to be out. And then once it's back on the table, I'm going to use this. It's not the usual thing. What are they called? Yeah, those. I didn't have one of those. I'm not going to go buy one of those. I'm using this instead. The only thing I did learn from my test run though is don't roll back. You're going to roll one direction. Do it like you're doing a pie. You want to roll one direction. If you roll back, it'll roll up the stuff and then that creates wrinkles. So here's go. Now I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to sort of help myself measure it out and make it even and nice. But to actually get the paper off then, I will be sanding it. I got this really cool tip. I actually got quite a few cool tips from PatiOElf. She is the queen of decoupage. She recommended an emery board because especially if you had pieces with, a little tinier, harder to get areas. Now, as it would happen, I have this nice wide space and it's easy to reach and access. So I'm going to use a sanding block, but I'm going to use it with my highest grit or most fine sandpaper. It's 320 that I'm going to run along the edges and just get the rest of the paper off that I don't want so it has a nice even finish. And now to go to the step you are probably expecting. Going back to our original paint and gonna cover up the perimeter where it got sanded off. Moving on to coat number 2, probably 2 of 5. I'm gonna use, this is just cardboard. It could be a paper bag. It's something very light to sand on top of the decoupage. And you won't see a lot of difference in the decoupage part of it, but when I get to the sides, you'll go, oh yeah, that really is doing something. So it's important that it starts getting a light sand for teeth purposes so that it'll take the next layer, but I don't really want to sand it to where it's going to remove anything. Here's the thing that'll freak you out. Every time I put another coat on, it would bubble up, but then it would dry and flatten out, except for one little area. I've got just the simplest little bubble right here. Now it's different, there's going to be overlap that's going to cause a little bit of unevenness. That we can't do anything about, but this is something that moves when you touch it, so you know it's an air bubble. And I'm just going to let it cool on its own for a bit. It doesn't take too long to cool off. And now it's gone. That's simple. I'm going to go around the rest of the table, make sure I got any of the other air bubbles out, and then a final coat. Hopefully, that should be it. So thanks for watching. Please click subscribe. I am looking forward to seeing how this table does in its new home. I'm going to be selling it. It probably could do with a nice 3-foot round glass that will just, make it perfect. But hey, it's up for the new owners to decide. So here we have it, the table that nearly broke me. I really do like how it turned out in the end. So thanks for watching. If you could, please give a thumbs up and click subscribe.